look the part, but let's see some of your moves.
Feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but an answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, and since the carpet nights off me, I'm living life now that I'm free. Yeah, time to get myself together. Now I got myself together. Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy. The current night is gone. I'm moving on. I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading.
So fan films. So
yeah,
we should get back to it. We should finish up with our fan film. You know, these at least 3 people that have been hanging with us for 2 hours and 4 minutes, which we really appreciate. We get off on a little tangent here. We're getting better at this. You know, this is only what, our 3rd week. You know, we don't even have a name of what we're doing. We still don't have a name. We have all this beautiful real estate where I can put a caption or a graphic, and we don't even have a name. So, you know, yeah, Arc 77 is still with us. But yeah, I mean, so I don't know if we want to do a fan film thing next week, but or whenever we do this next, I'm assuming next week, but you know, Wednesday seems to work out best for it. I don't know about you guys, because Thursday sucks at work anyway, so what's the matter if I'm a little tired? But I wonder, like, I think next time we do fan films, I think we should watch Matt's.
Or at least bits of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because that's the one we're all going to be promoting here shortly.
Right.
He seems to be moving, compared to other films that I've seen, you know, people working on films and stuff, he seems to work pretty fast on getting a turnaround. So, you know, so.
One of the beautiful things about now is they can put fan films up on YouTube. I mean, there's got to be dozens and dozens of them up on YouTube at this point.
Yeah.
You know, and some of them are just incredible, where they have, you know, Star Destroyers and, you know, lightsaber battles that put the original film to shame.
Well, yeah. Well, I would say watch his, but the other one would be Pink 5. Have you ever watched that?
No.
Pink 5. So it's the first one's the best. I think it's a series of 3. I think there's 3. But Pink 5, I would highly recommend at least the first one. It was hard to find for a while because they were one of those people that were trying to sell it, you know, and so they kind of scrubbed the internet of it. So I don't know if I don't even know. Let me just check. I don't even know if you can still find it. Because I was on it's still showing up. It's on YouTube. Yep, episode 1. Like I said, the first episode is the best. The other ones are good, but you know how like sometimes the first episode is always good, and the rest go downhill. It's definitely that.
So actually, while we're talking about fan films, what do you think constitutes a fan film? So, for instance, and the reason I asked that, there are some folks who put out documentaries. Like there was actually, hold on, let me reach and grab him.
He's going into Tatooine.
So, like Star Wars versus Star Trek, Jedi Junkies.
Oh, that's on. You know what? There's some guys in our garrison on Jedi Junkies.
Plastic Galaxy.
Yeah.
Star Voids. A Galaxy Far, Far Away. So these are kind of sort of like documentaries but made by fans. And then there's the ones where it's an attempt, kind of like Matt's, an attempt to create a movie that could very easily get tucked into and fit into the Star Wars galaxy. So which do you think is more of a fan film than the other? Do you think they both fit in that category of fan film?
Well, it's kind of apples to car doors there, really. It's because they're two very different things. However, I believe that they're both fan films because they both achieve the same thing. They are getting Star Wars out to the masses without going through Lucasfilm.
Right. Well, and like if you asked me that, when we were talking fan films, like the Junkies one and those, they never came to my mind, just like the Hardware Wars never came to mind. But then after you think about it, the same what John said, that I would consider them fan films. And what's nice is I think the was it Star Wars Junkies or whatever that is?
Jedi Junkies.
Jedi Junkies is on Amazon. You can watch that on Amazon.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and some of those document, like I have one. Have you ever heard of Heart of the Empire? It's a documentary done on the 501st.
No.
And it's really good. It's long. I have it on DVD somewhere. Like I bought it. You could only buy it in Australia. And so I had to buy it, and it'll play on my computer, and it'll play on my one old DVD player, but it won't play due to whatever codes on.
Oh, okay.
You know,
the regional codes.
Regional codes, but I think my Blu-ray will play it, but my one DVD player would, my one DVD player wouldn't. But that was another fan film, and I think the reason it didn't get distributed in the United States was because of some of the copyright stuff. You know, so it's a good movie. It would be, especially John has an interest in the film, he would probably agree if he saw it. It suffers from someone not knowing how to edit. You know, sometimes more is not better. You know, like they could have probably knocked, like, I don't know, if they let some people ramble a little too long. Like it was a positive one, and then there was one like mildly disgruntled guy, and he just kind of kept saying the same thing. I'm like, okay, don't give the disgruntled guy like 20 minutes to say the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I mean, there is, if you go to Amazon and search Star Wars or on Amazon Prime, and you search Star Wars or George Lucas, there's a bunch of like fan films. I don't know how fan films get on Amazon, if people just can post them up and how that works, but Jedi Junkies has at least 2 or 3 people in our garrison in it on Jedi Junkies.
Would you consider Robot Chicken fan film? The little clips that they did?
Yes and no, because they probably got permission from Lucasfilm at some level. Because when Robot Chicken was out, like new ones, Lucasfilm give the 501st permission to troop those events.
Okay. So
that would be one of those things that would be like fan film adjacent.
Okay.
You know, because it probably someone was, you know, I would think my definition of a fan film would be overall you don't make any money from it.
Okay.
You don't make money, like you might make money in a sense that someone sees it and hires you, but I would that would probably be if someone said write down a definition of a fan film, it wouldn't be like people not working in the industry, but if you're making money, which then might be a gray area with Amazon, because I don't know if Amazon is one of those things where if someone puts it in, they can get into monetizing it or something like that.
Okay.
Because I know that's what Star Trek, the Star Trek Paramount used to really crack down on fan films because of that. Like they were the total opposite of Lucasfilm when it comes to fan films. So.
Yeah, with Robot Chicken though, before we get too far off the beaten path here, they did work with Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Because the first Star Wars special that they did, George Lucas actually voiced himself in it.
Oh, okay.
When he rode the Tauntaun?
Yeah. And then they had a like a live action skit with George Lucas and Seth Green and one of the other writers. Where George Lucas, yeah. So they worked with Lucasfilm on all 3 of those.
I just remember back because in the early days of the 501st one, I was in 07, but even a little bit before then, Lucasfilm was up until the Rose Bowl parade, which was I think was 2008. Lucasfilm was very reluctant to kind of acknowledge the 501st and any of the costuming groups, and until George Lucas saw them at the story goes until he saw them at the Rose Bowl and realized how cool they were. But I do remember our guys were doing Robot Chicken events because I think Robot Chicken was on Cartoon Network, if I remember correct, or Adult Swim, right? Adult Swim.
Yeah.
And that was the first distributor of the Clone Wars. Both the first animated one, the 2D, and the initial couple seasons of the Clone Wars, because it was like impossible to find out when it was on there for a while. So.
Do you think we'll ever get Star Wars Detours released?
Yeah, I don't know. That'll be when they're like they'll surprise us. It'll just show up like the holiday special.
Oh,
yeah. Here, this goes back to our fan film. Let's see.
It's a Super 8
of
the original Star Wars.
I have a projector, right? I have a projector for it, and this was released in, I forget the date. This was released in 77, right? Let's go back.
Oh, it's my films.
Huh?
It's Ken Films.
But it's when you watch this, it's funny because it doesn't have it on here. It'll give the credits, and it gives the credit for John Williams for the music, even though technically it's a silent film.
Right.
And in this film, if you watch, like, say you went in 1977, you wanted to see Star Wars, and your dad was too cheap to take you to the movie, so he brought you this home to watch. It starts with Luke and them going into the Death Star and rescuing the princess, and then it's over. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole. That's it. It ends with. I don't even think Darth Vader is shown, or he's only shown for a brief second, and that's it. Like they rescue the princess, and then the movie ends. So if you went and saw this, and then you joined the Peace Corps in 1978, and then you came back all of a sudden from, wherever you were in the Peace Corps and never saw Star Wars, you were totally misinformed. And there's the look, and it's weird because they always show that picture, and Chewie never shot his bowcaster till Return of the Jedi. So
I think it's weird that Han Solo never shot Chewie's bowcaster until The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Well, I don't think.
No, Force Awakens. Sorry, Force Awakens.
I don't think Chewie shot it very often. Like, if you read about that blaster, the reason they probably didn't shoot it very often is because you didn't really survive if you got shot with that thing. In the old Dark Forces game, if I remember correctly, if you were carrying a bowcaster, you held the button down and it built up power. So you could shoot like a regular blaster, but if you held the trigger, it would get really, really strong, and then it would do more damage. I don't know.
That's one game I wish they would re-release.
Yeah, I think you can get it on Steam.
Okay.
I think.
Probably. You can get 90% of the old Star Wars games on Steam right now.
Yeah,
I remember it had Jango Fett in it and Zam Wessel.
Yeah, it was. They were not worried about continuity there for sure. They just throw everybody in,
Count Dooku.
And they had was it the second one where you had that little evil Yoda guy? You fought that one big. He looked like a big Yoda and a little Yoda, and he just jumped around with a lightsaber.
I don't remember that actually.
I think that was Dark. I think it was Dark Forces 2. Because you got a lightsaber in Dark Forces, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, it's been so long since I played it. I don't even remember all the bits.
My favorite Lucasfilm game wasn't a Star Wars game. It was Outlaws. Did you ever play that?
No.
It was a Western. And you would shoot, it was a first person shooter, but it was a cowboy Western like Red Dead, but first person shooter.
Wow.
And it had a cool soundtrack. I think I still have the soundtrack on my one old iMac because it came with a soundtrack of old Western songs. Like
that's cool.
Western, for Lucasfilm. So. But yeah, so next time we talk about any kind of movies, Matt's, I think, if you guys get a chance to check out Pink 5, I would check the first one out. The other ones, it kind of like, like the Saturday Night Live sketches that could just go on a little too long. Like it was funny and then they just kept dragging it on for another. I feel like the other ones kind of went a little long. But I don't know. And I don't know what else. I mean, Bad Batch, we got, I don't know what our next topic should be.
Well, I was going to throw this out there. Not next week, but the week after is when we should do the Han Solo Chronicles, because it's going to be really fresh in all of our minds.
Yes.
Or what? 3 days later?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm like, I'm looking forward to that. I'm just curious what shots he needs. And I got to go through my armor and get my armor. I've been just like putting things off. So I'm like, I have just got to do some repairs on my sand troop that I banged up at Steel City. I got to get my Steel City tickets too.
Yeah, I booked my. I'm gonna get the tickets at some point for the pre-sale.
Yeah,
discount goes down.
I think they're what, 40 for the 3-day right now.
Something like that. Yeah, sounds right.
There we go. Toys. There we go. Arc says toys. Oh yeah, that's what we should do. We should do the commercials.
Yeah.
That we should definitely do the commercials.
Yeah, because we could pick a couple from not each trilogy, but a couple from each era.
Yeah.
The early toys, the 70s toys, the prequel toys, and then do some of the at least that one that I don't know why this sticks in my craw so much. That playset, that Jabba's throne playset, that commercial is so vastly different than the olden days commercials.
See, and I'm like kind of blinded to commercials because I don't have any commercial TV anymore.
Oh no, I saw a link for the commercial on Facebook somewhere. I don't even know if the commercial's on television.
Yeah, because I pay way too much for Hulu, but so I don't have commercials. Yeah, you know what'd be neat is I got to search for the commercials for the Clone Wars toys because I can't remember if there was many commercials for the Clone Wars toys. Now that I think about it,
I'm pretty sure there were.
Yeah. No, there definitely were.
Yeah. Well, and then someone said review what you grew up with. It'd be the review. I'd like to talk about the toys I knew I was never going to get. Like I knew there was no way I was ever getting a Millennium Falcon.
Well, like did either of you have the Star Wars swing set?
No, jeez.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it what was the one? Is that the Endor one?
Yeah, the one where there was a speeder bike swing and there was a like a tower turret or whatever that was where the slide I think came down. Like there was no chance in God's green earth that I was going to get the Star Wars swing set.
Well, that ranks right up there with the giant Millennium Falcon inflatable that they make now. That $7,000 inflatable.
What? I haven't heard this.
Yeah, no, it's because what is it? Falcon. I gotta show you this now. Let me see if I can. Here it is. Oh, it's not. I'm sorry. It's $9,300.
Much better. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Here we go.
Falcon Experience. I see.
Yeah.
It was 11.5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on sale.
Yeah, because it was that $2,000 more that was keeping me from getting it.
Yeah. Do you think they accept coupons? It's like what the hell?
Yeah,
You think Honey works?
Look, there's the hollow chest table right there. Well, this is what's wrong with me. When that first came out, I was like, okay, so like if I buy this with like 6 months, same as cash, how many times would I have to rent it out?
Yeah, but wait a minute. Look at the recommended add-ons.
I know.
So you don't get the blower with it. You have
don't
to.
get the two blow. Is that you don't get the two blowers. Well, I don't know what an impact mat is. Transporter, 4-wheel brake. What?
It's probably like a wagon that you would carry that thing around in.
Why are sandbags $160?
I know. Do they come with sand? They better come with sand and someone to carry them for me.
Yeah, but imagine the shipping on 10 sandbags.
So now I'm gonna buy it.
What? Play the video. Let's see this.
Oh wait a minute. Where's it at? Where's the video?
It's above. It's right below the.
Oh yeah, there we go. Let's see what we're missing.
Here's a sneak preview of next week.
Yeah. And it came with the Chewy.
That could be the tent that we set up at the Paralysis house for a celebration.
No, I wouldn't be in there with a lightsaber, punch a hole in my $10,000 lights and my $10,000 Millennium Falcon.
There's no cape closet.
Right. But look, there's that bed I can't put in my room.
Ark says we should all put $2,000 each and then just rotate it around.
It would just, we could timeshare it.
Yeah. I want to know how many people bought this.
And why am I not friends with them?
Right. And I guess my other question is, what is the freight charge on that? Because shipping's not included.
Not when you're ordering 10 sandbags.
Well, honestly, this is why I have a problem. After watching that video, it makes me want it more. Sorry, dear, we can't send Zoe to college anymore. I bought a giant Millennium Falcon. It says ready in 60 to 90 days. If you're selling
2 or 3 months,
if you're selling someone something for $10,000 almost, you should get it to them before they decide they really don't want it. But you can get financing, according to this.
Well, if I were to buy that, at least I'd have some place to live when my wife divorced me and kicked me out. I just wouldn't have electricity to inflate it. I'd have to wrap it around myself as a giant sleeping bag.
No, that'll be one of those things, though. Like 10 years from now, someone's going to buy a storage unit, and they're going to get that. Like that's like they're going. What is this? There's a dead body of someone who looks like they died from loneliness, and an inflatable Millennium Falcon.
Yes, I'm putting this out there to the internets. Hey, internets, please introduce me to someone who bought that.
Now, this is one of those things that makes me want to start a GoFundMe just to see if people would give you money. Saying, look, I just want to buy this. I have no qualms with just taking someone's money to buy a Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I mean, I don't like. Is there some? Can you get it on AliExpress? Like the right hand, like the door's the wrong size or something.
You can buy an electric truck on AliExpress, actually.
Yeah, that's just weird.
See, I could see us buying that and using it at shows.
Yeah.
and letting you know what I mean? Like I could see it being used in that way. I wouldn't. No, I'm lying. I would, if I add that, I would blow it up and play in it. Like I'm not. I can't pretend that I wouldn't.
Well, again, like
100%.
my mind was thinking. I was like, okay, seriously, could I rent this? Could I rent this out? Like how many times would I have to rent it out to pay it off? Because I priced those inflatables for when the girls were little, and they're not cheap. I mean, even just a crappy like bouncy house is not cheap. Yeah, I don't even. I was looking here to see if anyone else was selling them, like a secondary seller, and there is no. Here's okay. Here we go. Magic Jump Rentals. You can rent it, but it does. You have to. They have to give you a quote. Right? It's in LA, so I can't remember.
I just have them fly it out.
Once again, this goes back to Celebration. We rent it and sleep in it, at Lizzie's house.
Yeah, there we go.
I think
that way I don't have to drive and sleep in my plan to.
Here we go. So this place rents it in Oklahoma for $875 for 5 hours.
For 5 hours?
5 hours.
Oh. People who have money. Why?
Well, like honestly, depending on where you live or where you're at, if you had a child who really wanted a Star Wars birthday party, even if you didn't have money, if you could somehow do it, $875 is doable. You know what I mean?
For one birthday party, I'm not so certain.
Well, I'm just saying, depending, and maybe it's just because of just being a teacher and all. Sometimes people spend in the short term because they can't do things in the long term for their kids. You know what I mean? Like you could be in that situation where like you can't give your kid a good vacation, you can't buy your kid, whatever this, and somehow you can scrounge up $800 for that one time in their life, or
But think about what you could get them for $800 though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is there is
Do I look like a Kardashian to you?
I know. Here we go. This other place is $9.99 a day.
See,
that's a little better.
That's better. The three of us in ARC could do that. $1,000, and we get it for a day.
That's only $250 pop.
Yeah.
Free delivery, 15 miles from the office, wherever they're at. I don't know what they're in. They're in Atlanta.
Might be a couple bucks to get it delivered.
Yeah.
No, but you have to keep an eye on these places to when it gets old, and then you buy the Falcon when it looks more like the Falcon.
You buy the giant inflatable Darth Vader from Burger King.
I have that. Yeah, but it's that I bought that for a graduation party. Actually traded that for a graduation party.
Which I don't know why. Like I always think of like things that other people have. It's like, wow, how did you acquire such thing? And then I just look in my basement. It's like, I have 3 standees from these movies, specifically the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I'd trade you Vader for that if you want him. You want Burger King Vader? I'll take you. Your Falcons, all your pieces of Falcons. I made molds of. I have molds to make parts for those Falcons.
Yeah, when I pulled that box out, that like kind of clicked my brain where I'm like, I should see if Mike if he could make me a couple pieces.
Yeah, I have cockpit right now. I have the cockpit made and the big piece that goes across the top. I'm going to make the door. I just made it because I was just going to glue it on an old one of mine, paint it all up for a display. But they'll just lay right in there. I molded them off of the. I have a newer one in it. They're all the same.
Yeah, I've got a 3D file for the struts.
Yeah.
On the door.
Yeah, so I can get you a door. I'll do that. But we should we should end it here and save all of our toy talk for later.
Yeah, we kind of got far into that.
So next week we'll just call it Toy Talk.
Yeah, maybe just talk about some toys. Maybe I'll get Togo on. He can talk toys too. I'll see if Togo wants to join. Here, look, see? If all four of us spent, see, Ark's with us right here. If we all spent $200 each, we could have an inflatable.
Yeah, but none of us live near Atlanta. That's the thing. That was the $1,000 one.
Yeah. So.
Well, actually, we could add Anthony into the mix. That's 5 of us, and it would be $200 to rent it for a day.
I think, though, you should bring that up on your podcast. It should be your quest of your podcast to find that should be part of to find the maker of who actually has one of those. Because someone bought it, inflated it up once, and it's sitting in their garage. Because it never folds up. It probably comes in this giant box, and then when they deflated it, now it's like the size of a car because they can't get it put back, right.
Yeah.
Because even when I got my Burger King Vader, it came in a tote. I inflated it. I had to buy a tote almost twice the size to keep it because I can't get it to however they folded it. Those Burger King workers must have had special skills or something.
Well, the way they wrap the burgers, that's practice, man.
The way they step in lettuce.
Right.
Oh, I thought that was Taco Bell.
No, hold on. Please tell me you've heard of the Burger King foot lettuce.
I probably have.
I'm glad I don't eat fast food, really. So
I try to avoid Burger King.
Yeah, Burger King. Well, I don't want to make a podcast on bashing fast food, but Burger King's pretty rough.
I've had my fair share of fast food, and I'm not afraid or embarrassed to admit it.
They just don't have anything for me to eat. Like Burger King has the Beyond Burger, which I was happy when they first had it, but after eating the Beyond Burger a couple times, I was just like, yeah, I'll just stick to what I normally eat. The Beyond Burger,
Art gets it. He knows.
Okay. Yeah. But you gotta love the fast food. We could have a whole show just on the Star Wars toys. I used to stop at the Burger King in Oxford coming home from work when Zoe was little because we didn't have any extra money. I just got done college, and I would get the little Star Wars toys when they and pick those up.
I'm glad that at one point they got to the place where you could just go and say, I want to buy the toy. I don't want the meal.
Yeah.
Just give me 3 of the toys, whatever is being handed out this week.
When I was little, you had to buy a meal, and then they would only have a specific glass or a specific toy on a specific
that week.
Meal.
Yep.
Yeah. I had all the McDonald's glasses, but they weren't the safest glasses because they always broke like when you're like drinking from them and stuff.
Yes.
They were like, what's the thinnest glass we can put this on?
Yeah, so let's make our next conversation be about toys and the commercials for those toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll end with the last thing somebody else.
That's a real thing.
We started with fan films and we ended with foot fungus. I think we just pretty much have to end that Wednesday there. We'll do toys. If we'll try to do this next Wednesday, we'll see how it should work for me, but we'll just double check and I appreciate everyone chiming in and I don't know how many. At one point, I think we had like 6 people watching, so we had 132 views. I think the last time, so. Which I thought was pretty good.
Well, thanks for another night of rambling.
Yeah. All right, guys. I will talk to you all later. Thanks, everyone, that hung in there. And I'm going to shut this, see if I can figure out how to shut this down, end the stream.
And there he goes.
Well, I'm back. See, I was just playing with it. I really, you guys got to see the panel here because there's like a lot, there's a lot I can do with this.
We've just become Transformers.
Yeah, see, like that's that. I don't like that view. That view. Because we can have up to 10 people, so I don't know.
I feel like a lot of these are just like let's make Mike as big as we possibly can, and everyone else as small as
Well,
possible.
that's what. See, I'm wondering if I can change that. Like, I wonder. See, I have. So
Or would it change based on the speaker? So
no,
if John's speaking, his screen becomes the focal point.
so I can do this too. I can change your name on your screen. Where's the names on our screen?
Oh, all right.
See, I can change names on screen for some reason. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, there we go.
Yeah, I see it in the bar on the side here.
Yeah, why? Yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. So that's like, what do I have? Oh, here we go. I have chat overlay. There we go. Captions. I can put captions on here, and then I have the graphics, which I did before, but whatever that is, we still got to make some graphics.
Yeah.
You know. But and then I can do.
What
I
the?
don't know.
That was
I'd like to
interesting.
change this background, this blue and purple, but I don't see anywhere I can change that. Oh, there it is. Wait a minute. I just scrolled down and found a whole nother.
Oh.
And it looks like I can add. Oh, see, I can add a graphic now. Okay. All right. Well, now I got something to play with.
Where did you get that audio that you sent to me last week?
I made that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
that
use
was,
the TikTok the text to speech?
Yeah, I used a TikTok text to speech. Then I took that and I threw it in GarageBand, and then I chopped it up, spread it out, and then I tried to sync the music to it.
But how did you get it to sound like C3PO?
That's a TikTok thing. So I made a TikTok with it, but I didn't publish the TikTok. And then I exported the TikTok, threw it in GarageBand, I pulled out the audio, and then I put the audio back in, split up the audio, and tried to match it up with the song.
But you did that like in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's how
It's
I roll.
Mike.
There was 30 minutes.
Are
of
you a
stuff
wizard? Like, what the hell?
No, see, I learned how to do stuff that with very bare minimum. So when I actually have stuff that I know what to do, I was like, oh, I can do that. Because I used to have, like, I'd be on live, and then Caden would mention something, and then I'd make it in 3D print it before, like, the next day. So
That's funny.
here I have my look. I think I can move. Does it let me move people? Oh no. Oh, it looks like I can rearrange. So I wonder. Yeah, so I can. There. See.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Just give everyone,
Their time in the spotlight.
Yeah, but no, I gotta find that. The problem is this computer is an old Mac that I have down in the studio, so I don't have all my photos on it. But I gotta look for, like, the photo of us in the film shoot and make that our background. So I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah.
Speaking
I
of
will
which,
say, I do love Restream. I really like it. So
yeah, this seems to be very, very intuitive and very easy to use.
yeah, and it doesn't take a lot of processor speed. That was my biggest worry. Because even Facebook can crash your computer the way it runs. There's even a private chat here, which I don't even understand.
Yeah, which I've considered using it every now and again. But
Where does that go to? Does that go to each of you?
Yeah, that just goes to us.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, that's good. I'd like to try with more people. So I'll say something to Toga. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got to change your name back. Change John's name to I Love Jawas.
Yeah, now
John, my name is John the first 5 years of my life.
Really?
Yeah, my mom. I lived with my grandparents. This is one of those stories that what's his name likes.
All right, wait. Let's set this up. Come on, gather around, kids. It's story time with Mike.
I lived with my grandparents, and my name was John Patrick Precup II. That's my real birth name, everything. And probably a week before kindergarten, my mom stopped by and told my grandmother, "Oh, we changed his name to Michael David Hinton." and so
that is a
What was
far
your-
cry from
What was-
from where you started.
I
Yeah,
know.
say your original name again.
John?
Slowly.
John Patrick Prekup, Prekup, the second.
Okay.
That's my name. I named after my dad, who was not a very good person. And then my mom remarried and had a step. My stepdad's Hinton, so my name now is Michael David Hinton. But it was right before kindergarten, so I misspelled Michael for the first 2 years of school because I had practiced all summer writing out John. And up until like when I was still living at my old house, which was where I grew up, I still had people into my 30s still calling me Little John. But yeah, my name. So, and I can't remember names to this day. Like it's terrible. I feel bad for my students. I have a hard time remembering names because of that.
Remembering their names or remembering your name?
No, their names. Like I'm maybe no, but their names. Like I don't answer to John. If someone yells John in a room, I don't turn my head or anything. But
Okay.
yeah, you would, of course. But and then I have a brother. I have a younger brother that I met. I was probably in my 30s when I met him. His name is John Patrick Prekup Jr. So my dad named I was the second, and my dad named his other son Junior. Who he's about 10 years younger than me.
Wouldn't that make one of you the third?
Well, I guess since my name got legally changed, I don't exist as John Patrick Prekup anymore.
Right, in junior and Roman numerals, two completely different things, technically.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's the story of my life. That's one more thing to throw in the pile. I'll have to tell that to Anthony. He'll just run out of the room. I didn't think I'd have a good story today, but somehow when I was changing John's name back, it clicked that memory. I was traumatized. No. Ken is speechless.
No, just like, how does one top that or follow that up? I mean, the closest that I have to that is a few years ago. I learned that my grandfather quit high school and ran away with the circus.
And that's an awesome. Now, see, that's an awesome story.
Legit ran away with a circus. He served as the monkey tamer and the human pincushion. So they would like bark or busk or whatever, saying, "Come see the freaks" or whatever. My grandfather was one of the freaks. He would poke his body with long needles through his skin, and he would play with monkeys.
That's a way better story than mine.
And I didn't know that until, like I said, a few years ago. We were at a family event, and it just came out like, "Oh yeah, it was like the time your grandfather ran away and joined the circus." I had lived with the man for many, many years and didn't know that he ran away and joined the circus.
See, that's better than mine. That's a better story than mine.
I don't know. You've got two names. You could have another alias that we don't know about that you haven't told us yet.
Yeah, no.
And an art thief, probably, if I venture a guess.
I do have an art thief in the family. I don't think. Well, that same uncle used to. He owned a car lot that sold Chevys in the late '60s, and he would buy plain Camaros and put Super Sport emblems on. So he went to jail. He went to jail for that too.
Nothing like a good badge swap.
Well, yeah, but imagine that poor sucker that bought a 1968 SS Camaro and has saved it in his garage since then, thinking it's an SS, and then they're gonna be like, "No, I'm sorry, buddy. You just got to plain with some stickers or with some emblems glued on it." Which I think those emblems were probably drilled on, if I remember my old Camaros.
Which actually, speaking of Camaros, I was driving to work sometime within the last 7 days, and it reminded me of you because I passed a truck hauling a flatbed. It had a first gen Camaro and probably a 70s bug on the back, and I'm like,
Nice.
Oh, there goes me and Mike.
Yep, there you go.
Off the celebration.
I still think you need to work on that road squadron.
I started to broach the topic with my dad about that. I'm like, hey, we could do this, but he's the same way I am. He's just got a hard time putting anything on factory paint.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. You get some of those good 3M Cricut stickers, and you won't mess it up.
Right.
All right, guys.
All right,
I promise
Johns.
no more stories so we can leave.
It's 2 Johns and a Ken.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, were you a JOHN or were you a JON?
JOHN.
Okay. Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, no. But then I went to Mike. So, I will thank my mom for having the least amount of creativity twice in a row. John and Mike. I'm not knocking any of the names, but man, come on. Could you?
Hey, I was named after my dad too. I'm a second.
If my dad was like a Rockefeller, but I don't know. He wasn't.
That's a story that we're going to hear next week. His real name is Reginald Davis Rockefeller the 14th.
Well, when I was hunting for my dad, I was in the back of my mind. I was like, "Oh, please let him have some money. Please let him have some money." He was broker than me. I was like, oh, "Come on."
Because if you were a Rockefeller, we could get an inflatable money Falcon easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll have it. We'll have it in 2 days.
That's inflatable Falcon money right there.
Kardashian wheelbarrow money.
I just want to know how many were made. Like is that going to be like the yak face toy 10 years from now? Like that one guy that bought one, and then 10 years from now they're like, remember this? You'll see it on like the Antique Roadshow. And they'll be like, well, this is worth $500,000 because they thought they were going to sell them and they destroyed. This is the only one in existence, And
or they just have the inflatable R2. That's all they have.
Yeah, there's 3 in existence. There's one in LA that's for rent, one in Georgia, and this guy's. So.
Oh, don't forget Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, right. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm airing out too much family laundry here. I'm gonna wind up.
Call witness protection.
Yeah. All right, gents. I'm going to let you all go. I promise I'm going to keep my mouth shut so we can get out of here.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much.
Yep. Talk to you guys later.
Care.
Bye. See you later.
Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better.